Hi Larry, you spoke on Craig Duswell's bootcamp about entrepreneurship and leadership. I'm very enthusiastic about your background. You started as a Green Barracks, became an NCO, and you make the shift in your career. You became a successful entrepreneur. How did you do it?
Well, it was difficult at first, to be honest with you. Yeah, because I had to really figure out who was I.
Yeah.
You know, because I was an entrepreneur before I went into the military.
Okay.
I guess being in special forces, you've got to think like an entrepreneur. You've got to be on your feet. You've got to be agile. You've got to count on your team people, the teammates around you, to make successful decisions. But then when I got out, I got a job. So I started working at a hotel.
And what role did you do?
I was a night auditor. I went in, I was making $5 an hour. I went in at 11 o'clock at night and I left at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And the interesting thing was, I didn't think I had any interest in the hotel industry. It was just going to pay my way through college.
Yeah.
But what I realized is that the hotel industry had a lot of aspects that kind of met my needs. I liked the finance aspect of it. I liked customer service. I loved the leadership component of it. I liked building teams, developing ideas, and then making them, come up with an idea and then making it into reality. I love that kind of stuff, and the hotel industry allows you to do that. Now, what I didn't realize, I guess, is that at some point I was going to have to tap into everything I learned in the military to build successful teams.
Okay.
Because too many people as an entrepreneur, they think they have to do everything on their own.
Okay.
They don't understand.
I recognize it.
Yeah, so they get frustrated and they get stuck.
Yeah.
And then people who have that entrepreneurial drive, they have a couple of failures, and they say, well, this must not be for me.
Okay.
But they don't know themselves well enough to really know what to do next.
And you're now an owner of how many hotels?
Oh my gosh. We've got 16 hotels now, and we'll probably be acquiring 6 in the next 6 months.
And you told that you're using psychological tests to build your teams. Why are you doing it?
Well, what I learned in special forces is that if you don't know the team members, how their inherent strengths, then you can't build an effective team.
Yeah.
I think one of the examples that I talked about is that I want to make sure that people that are in my accounting department have an analytical mind and not a creative mind.
Okay.
And clearly people that are in marketing and graphics, you want them to have more of a creative mind and less of an analytical mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we use not all kinds, but we use 2 or 3 assessments in particular. Find out just where are our natural strengths, because I think there is a mistake that too many people make, and they're trying to fix their weaknesses all the time instead of focusing on. That's right. Instead of focusing on what am I really good at.
Okay.
And then when you figure out what you're really good at, you end up being passionate about it. If you work in an area where it's not your strength, it wears you out. It sucks up a lot of energy. You build resentment. When you have resentment, that's not good for a team culture, right? So that's why we use it, just to make sure that people are working within their strengths and make sure that we've got the right balances of strengths on a team.
Okay, so you're using the tests to see who people really are, and what are their strengths, and to complement each other.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you also took our octagram test. What did you learn from it?
I tell you, I love the octagram test.
Yeah?
Love it. I think it's one.
What did you learn from it?
Well, it reinforced for me, I've done a number of these things, so it just reinforced for me in a very graphical way what my strengths were. That I'm an achiever, I'm a strategic thinker, and that told me that I need to make sure that I've got a team around me who are going to get things done. Because I'm not great at getting some things done.
Yeah.
But it reinforces I'm an achiever. I'm kind of a big picture thinker.
Yes.
And to me, it looked like what I expect an entrepreneur to look like. I would imagine that if I were a manager, it wouldn't be the really spiky type of effect that I had. Probably a little bit more linear. Now, I'm not the expert at it, but it told me that I'm doing the right. I'm probably in the right position that I'm in right now. I love it.
So it's important to learn to know yourself, to learn to know what people have to compliment you. And Dr. Ken, you told me that it's also the graphical side. It's very interesting.
Absolutely not.
It's a clear picture of someone.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm a visual learner. That's what I like about it.
Okay.
And so seeing it in that visual format is very helpful for me. And also what I realize is that I've got an assistant who really gets so much done for me. She is awesome. Now, if she takes the Octagon and has the same profile that I have,
Okay.
there's going to be tension there because I'm expecting a certain thing from her, and she's not getting it done. Not because she's not smart enough, not because she's not working hard, but because it's simply not part of her DNA of who she is.
Okay. Okay. Can you still give a tip to other business owners and starting entrepreneurs?
Well, I kind of touched on a little bit earlier. That is, you got to know yourself. You've got to live in your passion.
Yeah.
But the number one tip I think is never quit.
Okay.
Never surrender. Too many people quit this far from success.
Yeah.
You know, they're so close, but they get frustrated because they're not working in their strengths, and they think that they're not good enough.
Yeah.
This negative chatter starts going. But if only they knew themselves a little bit better, they'd break through the barrier that's holding them back, and I think we'd see more success. And frankly, the world needs more successful entrepreneurs. We're in a global, economic downturn, and entrepreneurs are the only people who are going to turn this around. Governments aren't going to turn this thing around.
The future is for the entrepreneurs.
Absolutely, it's an entrepreneurial revolution that we're about to enter into.
Thank you very much. I believe in that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the.
Thank you. Thank you.